Well, good afternoon here on Zoom and on Facebook, where we are live streaming. My name is Quentin King. I am a government affairs specialist at Appalachian Voices, by Kevin, who is also a government affairs specialist at Appalachian Voices. Welcome to, I believe, our fifth or maybe sixth weekly Holler from the Hollers. We started this because there's a lot going on at the federal level. There's a lot going on everywhere, particularly at the federal level. And it can be hard to keep track of everything and know where to plug in, how to help, how to advocate for your community. So this is our effort to ease that struggle and help folks make a difference for their communities in this wild time. So lately, the last about 2 months, President Trump and his quasi-government agency, the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, led by Elon Musk, they have been rapidly transforming the federal government with very spur of the moment, it seems, cuts here and there and everywhere. While everyone agrees that the government could use some efficiency improvements, the everyone has noted, including Elon Musk, that they're getting some stuff wrong, but they seem to not be correcting themselves lately. So at the same time, Congress is also trying to pass a budget. And to do that, they are going to cut taxes for billionaires and use those and basically harm essential services that we rely on, such as energy, healthcare, etc. So all that's to say, there's a lot going on. I mean, one of the most effective things people can do is call their Congress members and tell them what they're mad about, what they're concerned about, how they feel. So if we're all calling about the same things, we are going to make a bigger impact. So each week we have been picking something specific for people to call about, and we've been having these toolkits to share. And we do this every Thursday at noon. And if you and your friends can't make it, we also share this toolkit via email, via social media. We have the recording to share as well. So anyone can share this and make calls in their own time. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kevin, who's going to tell you about what we are asking people to call in for today.
Great. Thanks, Quentin. I'm going to pull up some slides here to talk through our conversation today. So today we are calling our members of Congress about protecting federal clean energy tax credits. This is something that was passed in 2022 by Congress, signed by President Biden at the time, that expanded new tax incentives to promote investment in clean energy projects across the country. So we have these kind of 5 bulleted points on what we're talking about. So we've got tax credits on residential and non-residential clean energy projects. That's general production of clean energy. So for residential, rooftop solar, things that you would do around your house, non-residential being those kind of larger scale, utility scale projects that are putting clean energy on the grid. Next point is an option for tax-exempt entities, so schools, churches, nonprofit organizations, local governments, fire stations, to claim the equivalent amount of the tax credit in the form of a direct payment. So if you're tax-exempt, you're not paying taxes to be able to get a rebate. So Congress included this option that would just provide a direct payment to those nonprofit entities that has really allowed clean energy technology to be used by these local institutions. There's a bonus credit in the list for project construction in energy communities. So when we think about where coal mines or coal power plants have recently closed, directing investment into these communities for clean energy development, saying, you've been leading the way on energy, you can continue to lead on energy. It's just going to be clean energy, and you'll have better air, water, and land for it. Also increases employment opportunities by targeting energy communities. There's a low-income bonus credit for projects located in or serving low-income or tribal areas, and a production tax credit for clean energy generation utilized by those bigger projects. All of this is reducing our energy costs, improving our portfolio of energy sources to be clean energy, and reducing our pollution there. A couple impact points. A recent study completed by NERA economic consultant found that electricity prices will increase if these tax credits are rolled back. There have been a couple reports out in just the last week that continue to show this across the political spectrum, from think tanks that are center-right leaning, left-leaning think tanks. Everyone's coming to the same conclusion that repealing these tax credits will increase electricity rates for residential customers and commercial sectors. The bonus credits available for projects in low-income areas and energy communities means coal mining areas across Appalachia are receiving job investments to make our communities prosper again. As I mentioned, for those communities that were built up around coal mining is no longer in the area, has pulled out. These targeted tax credits really make people think about putting their company, their manufacturing facility, wherever it is in the supply chain of clean energy, making those employment opportunities occur in those areas. As we know, new jobs increase local economic activity and allow our communities to thrive. And taking these credits away now would once again sacrifice our community's economies. So the rich get rich through Congress's proposed tax plan. As Quentin said, and a good transition here, what's happening now, Congress is identifying programs to cut in order to pay for their tax cuts to billionaires. And unfortunately, the clean energy tax credits are on the chopping block. News this week that the House and Senate have come to a kind of agreement on what they're going to set as their funding cutting targets. Clean energy tax credits are going to be a major part of that. Some members of the House of Representatives have written to congressional leadership asking them to protect these clean energy tax credits. And recent reporting indicates that leadership is starting to soften their approach. There was a report out last week that members of the Budget Committee were starting to say, hey, it turns out the savings aren't going to be that much. It doesn't cost us that much, but this is a huge benefit to communities. Maybe we can keep some of these things in there. So all of that to say, we need to keep up our advocacy to tell members of Congress that their constituents don't want their electricity bills to go up or to lose jobs in their communities created by these tax credits. At the end of the day, we're all concerned about the cost of living, and doesn't make much sense to me. And I think probably to anyone on this call to be raising our electricity rates at this time when we're trying to get the cost of living down for everyone. So with that, I will turn it over to Quentin to talk about what exactly we're doing today.
Kevin, thanks for that good background framing. So today we are asking people to call their two senators and representative, which we all have, except for Kevin. Our toolkit can be used to find the email address, the website contact form, and the phone number for your elected officials. And we also, yes, because Kevin lives in DC. So we also have this Capitol switchboard number, which you can use to be directed to your Congress member. And so we also have a script that Kevin's going to show next. Great, thank you. So this is a sample script, 30 seconds in case you get whether you get their voicemail or someone who answers. So we're asking people to use this script or something similar to call their elected officials. And typically now we take 10 minutes for people to call their two senators and their representative and leave voicemails or have a quick conversation if the phone is answered. And the toolkit, which we have not dropped yet. Kevin, do you have that handy?
Yeah, 1 second.
Thank you. I have another link to share. I'll do that. So the toolkit that Kevin's about to share is how you can find the direct phone line for your elected representatives. It's also how you can see the script. You can see an email script as well. And you can see the social media handles for your Congress members. So yeah, now we will take 10 minutes or so to make phone calls. And if you have any success or things you'd like to share, feel free to chat or even come off mute to share that. So I will be quiet now.